Hi, it's Mistress Vega.
Lady Katie.
And welcome to The Bonding Experience. And what is our topic today?
We are breaking down TPE a little bit more for you.
It was requested, so we've decided to bring it to you. What would you say about the dynamics involving a TPE?
They are a lot more detail-oriented and more strict and more for the experienced.
In speaking about being more experienced, it can also, the thing between a DES and a TPE is your level of commitment and your level of how much you commit during the day. So TPE is not for the faint of heart and it's not for everyone. You definitely need to be with someone very experienced, and you need to be with that person long term. It's a very serious thing to do.
You need to know yourself, not only just vanilla-y, you need to know yourself kink style too. What are your limits, and what are your expectations out of it? Like, there's all kinds of things that go into it.
And in speaking of terms of limits and expectations, learn how to differentiate an abuser who doesn't care about your safety or needs and someone who does.
And the key to all of that is consent.
With a TPE and the abuse, you really need to know.
Lines get really blurry for people on the outside. When they see people in TPEs, it does come off abusive, but the difference is consent. The person is okaying all of this, is okay with doing this. They obviously agree to it all in a sat down conversation or contract or however they do it.
To activities involved in a TPE.
Yeah.
And in these activities, one could practice orgasm control. That's a really big one. Orgasm control is not just the act of not coming or controlling when they come, but chastity devices as well, which you have to have extreme knowledge of before you do. You have to know the medical side of it, you have to know the safety aspects of it, and you have to know the different materials used. You have to know your partner's genitals.
And there's all, fun stuff as how much do they come for you, or how often do they come, or whatever. Where do they come at, or on.
Yeah. And then that can lead into bathroom use control.
And using when and where they use the bathroom, if they piss in a pot, if they piss outside only, or if they can only shit in a diaper,
Bathroom use control. And don't be a dick about it, because you can cause somebody to get a severe infection if you don't let them use the restroom. So your top has to be knowledgeable about this. And then that can also go into sleep and how much they sleep, when they sleep.
Do they go to sleep before or after you? Do they wake up before or after you? Do they need to wake up earlier and have such and such done for you when you get up in the morning?
Yeah. And then that can also lead into something a bit more serious when it comes to like more higher protocol stuff, such as like posture and positions. So they have to know slave positions, hand signals to do the slave positions. Walking into doors, they should be opening your doors or pulling out your chairs or doing literally everything for you in this particular manner. Carrying bags, carrying your purse, walking behind you 2 steps and a little bit over. There's a lot of stuff. Now that's a bit old guard, but there's still different things involved. If you have any questions, please comment down below and I'll try and respond to those.
There's tons. That's one of the big ones, is learning positions and postures. But then again, that's might not even be in someone's dynamic whatsoever. But typically in TPE, it's there.
Yeah.
So.
And then there's appearance control. That one's huge for me. I actually am in the beauty industry for a living, and it really means a lot to me when I can actually groom and cut the hair of and change the appearance of my person. And I was in a TPE for 10 years as a mistress to a slave, which was my former husband. And I cut his hair and I shaved his head. There's several girls that I know that shave their heads for their masters. Body hair, things like that, grooming in general, your appearance, your showers, your things, your body odor, everything. Your
what
spray
you wear
that you
to
use.
work that day, or
your clothing. Yeah, appearance is based on your dominant's choice, period.
You don't get no say so on how your hair's fixed that day, whether you wear purple lipstick, blue lipstick, no lipstick.
And if you get your hair cut by someone else and you're with me, like, I'm sorry, done, like, you're out. Like, that's a deal breaker for me. Services, which lead into that, service-oriented submission. That one's a really big one. My former spouse was really into service-oriented situations.
And that's
overpaying.
Yeah, that's
too.
that service is like a really big part of it. The slave is there to serve you at this point. That's what slaves are for.
And everything. I mean, he would fetch everything for me. He would do everything for me. He even financially supported me completely because that made him happy.
Everything from paying, he or she's in charge of paying this bill, or he or she is in charge of your sexual desires, or he or she is in charge.
And then you had a service sub.
Yes, I had my previous sub. He made my meals for me. He
Meal
prepped. We didn't live together. We weren't in TPE, just a normal DS.
But the service subbing.
The service part was that he fixed my meals for the whole entire week. Put them in nice little containers. Brought them to me. So every night when I got off work, all I had to do was pop it in, and
you were good to go. That can lead into bigger things with the service sub, such as like eye contact restriction and things like that. They could be nonverbal. If they're a pet. So, and also your time and your time usage with that person. If you're in a TPE versus a DS, chances are in a TPE, you're 24/7, you're living with that person. You're not going to not be living with that person.
No.
And you're collared to them at that point.
Which means some serious stuff usually. Not training collar, not a consideration collar, a full-on formal collar where you have been together for a while.
Yeah.
So, if you're looking into trying out TPE, it does need to be with someone that you have been with a while and have had plenty of experiences with and fully know each other.
And your dominant really has to be in charge, in control, and completely dominate themselves first before you allow someone to do that to you and for you.
Definitely know your dominant, know your limits and your restrictions. Know the difference between consent and
have your contract.
non-consensual.
Yeah, you have to. Well, you just basically have to be slave ready.
Try it out. You don't have to jump into a TPE just right off the bat. Try it for a weekend.
Know your differences. Know what you're capable of, and don't make promises you can't keep. Don't get with a dominant that is abusive or stupid or doesn't take anything about in your life. Into consideration.
It's all just them.
If you're allergic to fucking peanuts, they won't feed you a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Make sure that you're with somebody that's fucking safe, that's not going to push any boundaries. Anyway, that's enough for this one.